Um... I'm not gonna let myself be trampled on, but so I'm gonna brush a finger aside and say, that's bullshit, Iger. You weren't even in the room. No, I wasn't there. That's exactly the problem. If I'd been in your place, Monica would still be alive and with us. Instead, well, for a woman who apparently knows about military protocol, you're very stupid. Instead, I left her with you, and now my friend is a corpse in a basement. When was the last time I saw my biology teacher? It was I don't know, like between Christmas and New Year's. We had dinner. Not really dinner. We do like the biology Leistungskurs it's called. The biology, like the course for people who the biology major essentially for the fucking A levels. Does this every year. We just hang out in like a Chinese buffet and meet with our teacher and have dinner. Look, Iger, Flaschenbeiß is right. You weren't stuck in that basement with us and you don't know how things went down there. So do us all a favor and shut it down, okay? Shut it down? Fuck that! Iger turns to face Dietrich. She towers over him, but he stands his ground. I respect you, Dietrich. You know that, but you don't have my training. None of you have. Oof. Arrogance! Monica was good. She was the best, right? She was also overconfident. She treated the job like it was a game. Do that long enough and you're gonna get burned. Iger turns her focus back to you. If you'd been paying attention, you'd have figured all of this out by your own by now. You'd have known that Monica needed watching as much as that door. Yeah, but I was watching her. We were all watching her, and it happened anyway, because none of us are deckers. You stupid fucking cunt. Enough, Iger. Amsel's voice is hoarse. No, enough, Iger. His expression blank. Enough. Iger pushes ahead. Heedless of the interruption, her voice remains measured, but there is a fire in her eyes. How many seconds pass between Monica's first convulsion and her plug getting pulled? 4? 5? Do you know how much damage biofeedback can do to a Decker's brain in 5 seconds? Will we say, Iger, I don't? Or will we say, how dare you? Or will we say, look, this won't? I'm gonna go with, how dare you? You don't have to answer that, of course you know. Monica died while you stood there and watched. This is a... No! I didn't stand there and watch, you fucking cunt! This is all your That is enough! Enough is enough! I am tired of this motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane, okay? Amsel's voice comes out in a roar, and his fist smashes down on the desk behind him. Iger, you and Flaschenbeißer can have it out later, but I've had enough. Enough is enough! We need to talk action. Our client sent you into something much bigger than he'd led us to believe. I want to know why. Right there with you, this was supposed to be a milk run. Payback isn't the only reason why we need to find him. We saw something back there, something that we weren't supposed to see. It's fair to assume that we're all still in danger. He pauses, rubs his temples. Agreed. And to neutralize that danger, we need to know who we are dealing with. Let us review the events that transpired tonight. The smallest detail could be important, so hold nothing back. Well, the estate was... We have to go through this in chronological order anyway, so... Well, no, but because this is this character, you would of course first focus on the thing that Monica did. Monica lived long enough to say a name. Feuerschwinger. She fought hard to tell us. It must be important. Listen, you're German! From the Rhein-Ruhr Megaplex. You know who fucking Feuerschwinger is. Burger, it looks like I have some really good sound dampening back here. Yeah, it's pretty decent. Amsel seems taken aback. He pauses for a moment before responding. The Fire Wing. this is unexpected. You'll have to forgive me, this brings back many unpleasant memories. Glory raises an eyebrow. The fire... How do you not know this? This is like fucking history class 101. Most terrible of the great dragons. There are those who would disagree, but they never experienced the terror of living in her shadow. He glances at Glory. You are far too young to remember her, of course, but for Germans of my generation, the name Feuerschwinge is synonymous with chaos, destruction, and death. The dragons of today are subtle creatures, full of patience and guile. Feuerschwinge was not. After her awakening, she went on a 4-month rampage that claimed tens of thousands of lives. Amsel takes a deep breath, slowly releases it. There is a haunted look in his eyes. Those were dark days. Countless men, women, and children were slaughtered, roasted alive in their homes by a creature of legend. No hope for salvation and no end in sight. It was a horror that you cannot begin to understand. What stopped her? I can't imagine what a rampaging dragon would just go away on its own. Eventually, the Firewing was brought down by a man named Dr. Adrian Vauclair. Well, with the help of the Luftwaffe, of course. But it was the experimental weapons designed by Dr. Vauclair that finally pierced her hide. She fell in a hail of bullets and rocket fire, and crashed down in the radioactive wasteland of the SOX. This event was called the Dragonfall. Safe at last from the dragon's wrath, Germany celebrated Vauclair as a hero. Our own Siegfried, a modern-day dragon slayer. My own family practically worshipped the man. If the Dragonfall was so important an event as you make it out to be, I'm surprised that you've never heard of it. I'm surprised that you've never heard of it either, being that you were in the German military. Those early years of the Awakening were traumatic, Iger. Not just on a national level, but on a global scale. Few species of awakened animals were being discovered daily. Within 2 years of the Dragonfall, the active use of magic had returned to the world. A new source of terror for the bewildered public, and in 2021, the sudden emergence of orcs and trolls gave rise to yet another wave of global panic. In light of such turmoil, is it any surprise that Dr. Vauclair and the Firewing were forgotten? Dragons were yesterday's news. He rubs his temples. Again, all of this happened decades ago. To the best of my knowledge, the story of Feuerschwinge is a bit of historical trivia, nothing more. There's tens of thousands dead. Fucking dragon. One of the first things that happened during the Awakening. Probably the only dragon killed solely by a national military without the intervention of other dragons. It's just a minor bit of historical trivia. Fuck the Holocaust, just a minor bit of historical trivia. The 100 Years' War, minor bit of historical trivia. The Black Death, oh, the minorest of minor bits of this. What the fuck are you talking about, you fucking idiot? What do you mean a minor bit of historical trivia? This is huge! Jesus Christ, fucking shit. Iger. Alright, so Monica spent her dying breath trying to tell us about a long-dead dragon. Iger sweeps her eyes across the group, searching for a glimmer of insights. Finally, she gives up. Any ideas as to why? Amsel's voice trembles with frustration. No. Doesn't make any more sense to me than it does to you. The Dragonfall is ancient history. Feuerschwinge has been dead and gone for 42 years. But there's one thing I do know. Whatever Monica saw, whatever she was trying to tell us, it was important. And I for a moment there I thought important was in triple brackets. He visibly struggles to calm himself, takes a deep breath, then slowly releases it. I will look into this, and I will find answers. In the meantime, did you turn up anything else of value? Or well, the whole estate was just a front for whatever was going on in the basement. That much is clear. It wasn't a minor enterprise either. The facility took serious funds to build. And time. There was more to it than we saw. Places like that don't spring up overnight. What is SOX? Oh, SOX. You know how the French build all of their nuclear reactors along the German border? Because of course they do. Well, in the Shadowrun universe, basically, also Chernobyl also happened. But I think this was before... I think Shadowrun was invented before Chernobyl happened. And so they had their own version of it, which was the SOX, along the French-German border. And it's like this huge irradiated zone. It's like a completely walled off in the middle of Europe. And there's all kinds of crazy magical shit going, because like radiation... like mutations also happen on the magical level of things. And so it's this huge area where all of this weird magical shit goes on, these weird mutations and zombies and cults and whatever. It's really fucked up. And all in secret, the owners, whoever they may be, were none too pleased by your escape, I'm sure. What else did you find? After everything went to hell, we were confronted by an orc in military-grade armor. He appeared to be the head of security. That is not much to go on. Yep. Do any details about this orc come to mind? Any distinguishing features that I could look into? He was an older guy, for one, from the sound of his voice. I'm guessing mid to late 40s. Pretty old for an orc, that's true. Orcs don't usually get that old. And he'd had skin grafts. Most of his face looked like replacement material. If the grafts came from a legitimate hospital, there may be medical records. I'm just gonna look for orcs with skin grafts. Just millions. That is something. I will see what I can find out. Did you note anything else during the run that may be of value? Well, that's all we got. That's not much. Amsel nods. His face drawn and haggard. It is thin, I agree. A basement, a middle-aged orc with skin grafts, and a long-forgotten world event. Well, you haven't said anything about the client, Paul. Are you holding out on us? Amsel shakes his head wearily. No, Flaschenbeißer. I am not holding out. I am tired and I am frustrated. And I already miss Monica. He takes a moment. I did not think to mention our employer because I did not set up the job. Monica did. I warned her. I told her not to take this run, but she assured me it would be a cakewalk. Monica was approached recently by a man who calls himself Green Winters. He used to be a prominent activist in the F-state political scene. I never much liked the man, and I certainly never trusted him. But Monica, she would do anything for her cause, anything for the Flux State. He sighs. Winters swore that the data he was after was crucial to ensuring the future stability of the Flux. And as we all know from Shadowrun history, the Flux State is destroyed a couple years after this. And that was all it took. Sounds like Green Winters is our best lead then. Yes, most definitely. It is clear that Green Winters has involved us in something much larger than he led Monica to believe. When he finds out what happened on the run, he's probably gonna rab it. We need to chase him down before that happens. Okay, how do we find this guy? There is a man here in the Kreuzbazaar, a Turk named Altug Buragazi. Altug Buragazi. He owns a little soycaf shop just down the way called Cafe Chevche. Chechve. Chezve. Cafe Chezve. This sounds very Turkish. The man is also a purveyor of information. I have done business with him from time to time. And you think he would know something about Green Winters? Amsel nods. When I discovered Monica's renewed association with Green Winters, I contacted Altug. One of his people has been keeping tabs on Winters ever since. As I said, I did not trust the man. Best be cautious in our line of work. Should I go to meet Altug then? Yes, tell him I sent you. I will do what I can to dig into the information that you've uncovered already, sparse though it may be. Well... yeah, in Shadowrun, everything is made out of soy. They literally make everything out of soy in Shadowrun. That's the big Shadowrun thing. Soy. What is the Counter-Strike thing? Does it actually do anything? Can we equip more than one of these things? Could have Martial Defense 1. I'd like to have some passives that help us out, maybe. But I'm gonna get this skill. I'm gonna have to get into this anyway. So can do it now. Doesn't really matter. Well, this is a nice place. I'm gonna be doing some talking to people. Let's talk to Dietrich. Dietrich turns his head at your approach. His aging face is traced with a network of faint scars, the legacy of too many fights over too many years. While he still retains a degree of strength and vigor, it's obvious that the shaman you see today is a shadow of his former self. Despite all of this, there is still an aura of power surrounding the man. He raises his bottle, offering it to you. Flaschenbeißer, welcome. I've got a bottle of schnapps that needs sharing. I've got a fallen comrade to drink to. Oh yes, alcohol. Yes, this guy is yeah. You go ahead and toast Monica. I'm drinking to... actually, no, I'm going to toast Monica because you still have some lingering feelings for her. The liquor in the bottle is crystal clear, and as you raise it, you catch an intoxicating whiff of cloves and caramel. It tastes of sweet corn and walnuts, with a lingering aftertaste of buttery top. What kind of schnapps is this, man? This isn't schnapps. This is liqueur or something, like butterscotch or something. You swallow a swig, then return the bottle to Dietrich's outstretched hands. He takes a long pull on the bottle, then locks eyes with you. Let me ask you a question, Flaschenbeißer. What made you choose to come to live? He's not that drunk. What do you want to know? Monica told you that you moved here from the Rheinruhr Megaplex. Made it sound like you'd been there for a good many years. Successful years at that. Leads a man to wonder why you packed up and moved here. Well, the actual reason I have already laid out. The actual reason is that he was in an underground fighting ring and he accidentally killed his opponent, and the opponent was a rich kid that went slumming. And so now the rich daddy wants to make sure that the guy who killed it was, you know. But the only two things that come close to this are a member of my old crew betrayed me, and a run went bad and my team paid the price. I'm gonna have to go with the latter because that's the one that's closest to what actually is. I just had to drop out of sight for a while. That's actually better. Sure enough, I think that most of the team here is here to hide from something. Not me, of course. Given the choice between hiding from something and punching it smack in the nose, you know which direction I tend to lean. But, like, do you have more of that booze, though, mate? Because I kind of want some... You know what, I'm actually gonna drink some nice myself in a moment. Most of the others, yeah, even Iger's hiding out from something. Really? How do you know? Intuition. Got a nose for damaged people. Of course, I've spent most of my life running with and playing for folks who were damaged in one way or another, so that might have something to do with it. So things got heavy back in the Ruhrplex, and you decided to bail and head to Berlin. Am I getting that right? Well, there was a bit more to that than that. Yeah, but yeah. So you came back to Berlin and to Monica. Dietrich raises his bottle again, then closes his eyes and takes a long drink. But can I have one of those, though? I'm an alcoholic. After the moment has passed, he returns his attention to you. And it all comes back to our girl, doesn't it? So let me ask you, just what was your relationship with Monica anyway? I know you two knew each other way back, but she was pretty coy about these things. Well, I could just tell him. Why do you want to know? Monica was my friend. I cared about her. I don't know. Dietrich shrugs. I don't know. I guess that I just want to get to know her better. There were some areas of her life there that have always been a mystery, and if you could shed any light on them, I'd be appreciative. I knew Monica well enough to know about what you mean. She did have a mysterious air about her. Why can I not tell him that we had a thing in the past? So what was the deal between the two of you? Don't leave me in suspense. We were very close. Dietrich nods. Figured as much. Not from anything you or Monica said. I just had a suspicion. This guy has, like, really good intuition. Really good intuition. Well, anyway, good on you both. Dietrich raises his bottle to you in salute. But can I have some of that? She was a wonderful woman, and I hope that your time together was happy. Anyway, I've taken enough of your time, and the bottle's almost empty. Can I have the rest, please? Thanks for taking the time to talk. For what it's worth, I'm happy you're here with us. Dietrich takes a final pull on the bottle, then tips it forward, pouring the rest on the ground. Oh, why? Rest in peace, Monica. We'll miss you, girl. I don't want to be well adjusted. I'm gonna get some real quick. You're gonna like this.